Hey guys, if you're new here, I'm London, aka History of the Batman, where we relive the defining moments of one of the most iconic figures in comic book art and literature, DC Comics Batman. So this new video is not the Q&A that I promised this week, or the 1 minute Bat history that I promised this week. It's been a very crazy week. We are doing construction and it's just been crazy. Everything looks awesome, but construction equals stress. But I thought this video could be kind of cool and a little surprise because this is a subject that I think about a lot and I discuss, however, very, very little. And after reading Batman issue 48 this week, I thought, why not do a video about it? As passionate Batman fans, we often place our own ideologies on our favorite character. Also, as passionate Bat fans, we often wonder if this character was real, even if he already feels very real to us, what they would or would not believe in real life. One question that comes up from time to time is what religion Batman / Bruce Wayne believes in or would practice, or if he is religious at all. Of course, there are many reasons to believe that Batman is not religious. He is a man of logic and science. He is BFFs with an alien from a doomed planet. He's fought interdimensional beings, and from all of the literal out-of-this-world events that he has faced in his 79-year history, why would he believe in a higher power? But no matter what you personally believe, there are stories and aspects within the Dark Knight's mythology that support the Dark Knight's personal stance on God and religion on both sides of the playing field. So for this video, we will highlight some of these stories to try and understand from the creator's standpoint how they want to represent this personal part of the Caped Crusader. There's going to be a huge disclaimer here, disclaimer, bells, whistles. Before we begin, I just want to clarify that I am not here to bash anyone's particular beliefs or religion, or lack thereof. And whatever you think Batman believes or doesn't believe in is still totally fine. This is just to talk about certain stories and aspects of the mythology that shine a light on this particular subject that you may want to read yourself after you watch this video. Okay, let's begin. For many people, your religion is initially influenced by what your parents believe in. Of course, this can change moving into adulthood. But even so, your faith can reflect those of your families for your entire life. The same thing can be said with Bruce Wayne. In Alan Grant's 1998 book, Batman: Scottish Connection, it clarifies that Bruce Wayne's father, Thomas Wayne, is Episcopalian due to his English lineage. In the case of Bruce Wayne's mother, Martha Wayne, due to many stories clarifying that she's Catholic, it is said that Bruce probably practices Catholicism. Because, as many of you probably know, the old rule states that whatever religion your mother practices, that is the religion that you will practice. The earliest religious activity that readers observe is after the tragic death of Bruce's parents. Once witnessing their murder, a young Bruce is often seen by candlelight praying for help and guidance to avenge his parents' death by spending the rest of his life warring all criminals. This is seen in Bill Finger's 1939 comic Detective Comics 33 and retold in comics like Roy Thomas's Secret Origins issue 6 and Steve Englehart's Batman Dark Detective issue 3. Another thing to observe, as morbid as it may seem, are the gravestones of Bruce Wayne's parents. Whether in a Gotham City cemetery or on the Wayne Manor property, his parents' graves are adorned with either Christian crosses or sometimes with angels, such as in The Long Halloween, which demonstrates Christianity or Catholicism. Whichever denomination, the writers determine whether or not Bruce follows his parents' faith or chooses his own religious path. There are some writers who, no matter what Batman story they write, Batman practices a religion, and many times he practices Catholicism. In an interview, writer Chuck Dixon has said, "When I was a kid, Batman and Tarzan were role models for me along with Jesus. I don't see any reason why I can't include him in my work." This is seen in Dixon and John Van Fleet's 1999 graphic novel, Batman the Chalice, when Batman is called upon to protect the Holy Grail since Bruce is one of the last descendants of the Gavain line whose duty was to keep the Holy Grail out of evil hands. Dixon's story has Batman struggling with discovering his connection to the Holy Grail. which throughout the book he gradually believes in its divinity. But even so, Batman continues to be a man of science as he protects Gotham City. Another writer is Frank Miller, who in past interviews has said that he endows his Catholic values onto the characters that he writes, in particular Marvel Comics Daredevil and DC Comics Batman. We see Batman and Catholic symbolism in Miller's 1986 arc, Batman the Dark Knight Returns, written and illustrated by Miller, Klaus Janson, and Lynn Verley. Set in an alternate future, a retired Bruce Wayne dons the cape and the cowl once more when threats take over Gotham City, including the new and lethal mutant gang. There are many instances where Batman uses religious practices or symbolism in his vigilantism, from noticing how the Batcave is huge and silent like a church, to Bruce's full return as the Dark Knight, quoting, "The rain on my chest is a baptism, I'm born again." There are other times within this groundbreaking 4-issue arc that Miller links Batman and Catholicism together, like wanting to say a prayer before handling a bomb that Two-Face has planted, and even at the end, Bruce's grave, spoiler alert, but not really, is adorned with a traditional cross on his tombstone. Miller and Dixon are two examples of writers who will continue to link their personal values and religion onto the Caped Crusader. So if you read any other stories and have noticed huge religious undertones, then that's the reason why. There are other stories that have Batman and religious symbolism together. In Grant Morrison's 1989 graphic novel, Arkham Asylum, A Serious House on Serious Earth, when Batman remembers the night of his parents' murder, he stabs the palm of his hand with a broken piece of glass. Morrison notes that this act deepens some of the ritual symbolism of the story, so Batman is here inflicting upon himself one of Christ's wounds. In Alan Brenner and Norman Brayfogel's Elseworld, Batman Holy Terror, the separation of church and state in America was never established in the 17th century, creating a Gotham City and its Gothamites surrounded by churches instead of skyscrapers. The Bruce Wayne in this universe, after his parents were murdered, becomes a reverend to try and make sense of this senseless murder. What he learns is that Thomas and Martha's death was no accident at all, and in order to track down their murderers, becomes the Batman dressed in demonic garb. Even in his journey to becoming Batman, like we see in this Elseworld, he keeps his faith in a higher power to guide him into learning how to protect Gotham City. And of course, knowing that Bruce traveled abroad when he was a young adult to help train to become the Batman, there are comics that embrace the faith of other cultures, such as Dennis O'Neill's The Man Who Falls and Sam Hamm's Batman Blind Justice, which illustrate Bruce's interest in Buddhism and religions of the Orient, taking him on a different spiritual path than his parents believed in. But as I said in the beginning, your beliefs can alter when you enter adulthood, which for many is what happened to Bruce Wayne. Back in 1939, in his original origin story, it was established that Bruce trained to be the most knowledgeable in all sciences, and that continues even now in modern mythology. Batman is a true man of science and logic, and after everything he has encountered, he doesn't believe there to be one God. However, there are times in his personal experiences that have him doubting his understanding of a higher power. One of the best modern examples is in Judd Winnick's arc, Batman Under the Hood. After Batman learns that the new Red Hood is in fact Jason Todd, the second Robin murdered by the Joker, he begins to have suspicions of Jason coming back from the dead. This results in becoming obsessed in knowing whether or not it is a theory or fact that people can be resurrected. Receiving a series of answers from allies such as Zatanna, Jason Blood, and Green Arrow, he ends up talking to Superman, who has died and returned from the grave. Clark worries about his friend needing an explanation for Jason's return, saying everything isn't science. Bruce replies, "It has to be for me," and he always had the facts, and any other reasoning from God to mysticism or magic is just another realm's science. Even after Bruce comes face to face with Jason after all these years, Bruce still doubts that it is because of God that he's returned, showing a true struggle with understanding life, death, and resurrection within the connection of a higher power. One of the best modern observations to look at Bruce's thoughts on God and religion is in J.M. DeMatteis and Brian Ashmore's 2003 graphic novel, Batman Absolution. As Batman sets on a journey to a temple in India to track down the culprit of a Wayne Enterprises bombing, the reader sees the Dark Knight's almost black and white view of reality, God, and salvation, which becomes an examination of the cold and calculating nature Batman's logical stance plays into his crusade for justice. As DeMatteis Batman says, "I can't believe in miracles in a God who looks down on us. No miracles, no mercy, no redemption, no heaven, no hell, no higher power. Just life, just us." So, from discussing all of these different stories, whether or not you want to believe that your Batman is religious or not, what you should take away from this video is that it is up to the writers and the creators that decide the type of hero Batman will be and where he finds the strength to strike vengeance into the hearts of criminals. Thank you guys so much for watching this video about Batman and religion. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a bat thumbs up, and please subscribe to this channel. Comment down below what religion you think Batman believes in, or if he believes in a religion at all. I promise next week I will have a new 1-minute Bat history, and I will answer your guys' burning Batman questions in another Gothamite Q&A. All of my social media is linked in the description below, so please give it a follow and become a Gothamite on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Also check out my current articles for comic book resources and my current reviews for Comicosity. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we will have more History of the Batman soon right here on YouTube. Remember, Gothamites, it's all about peace, love, and Batman. Bye.